Good morning. Welcome to the People's House. We always state that folks, the urban community, have just looked rightfully in this building as any other citizen in the Commonwealth. We've tried to open this building up for issues such as this that usually don't get much attention. It's not sexy. It's not popular. But we do it anyhow. So I want to thank my staff, Seba and Daryl, Cynthia, the amazing work, to the amazing panel we have. Let's give the panel a hand before I have my remarks. And even though she's with NBC 25, Rep. Morale, that's a 413 Springfield. That's right. 413 is a joke. I'm from Springfield, which is 413, which we don't get a lot of play in the meantime. They try to silence us. So I think Rep. Morale from Boston, I think Rep. Juan, so Rep. Miranda, thank you for coming. We have a very exciting day. We didn't plan on the students at the same time. We'll work our way through it. So you come to the mic, you have to speak, really speak up, and speak out. And also to our virtual folks, I see this is a virtual team. I see my wife, Dr. Williams, and school committee, London, Russia. I see them. Springfield, so thanks for joining us and all you folks in the forum and all of the Commonwealth messages. Thank you for joining us today for the first ever virtual meeting of House Bill 3913, an act aimed at addressing the crisis of murdered and missing Black women and girls in Massachusetts. We gather here today to address a deeply troubling issue, a crisis that has been long overshadowed and underrepresented in conversation and actions that we don't talk about. Across the nation, Black women and girls are disproportionately affected by violence and disappearance, and are further affected by the neglect in reporting and media coverage, an issue that has persisted far too long in our state. The number are not just statistics, they represent families and communities. Their stories are often untold, their cases unresolved, and their families left in turmoil, searching for answers to justice. In 2022, 214,582 people of color were reported missing nationwide, many of them children with a glaring lack of media coverage and public input. Black individuals who comprise just 13% of our national population accounted for 1/3 of all missing people in the nation. And what I'm told is that 64,000 in the last 10 years, specifically missing Black women, don't get the media attention. There's a lot of issues of equity in the Commonwealth, and we're dealing with it. But this one here really got my attention. And we're going to get on it, and thanks to all the advocates, Senator Liz of Lieutenant Miranda, we had the first racial equity meeting at the time of Zoom. We hosted about 300 different advocacy groups across the Commonwealth because they could access the State House. And the missing person girls, one of the groups we talked to them. And this is a result of their hard work. They've been on the battlefield a long time. They've been focusing. But we know, in one little last statistic, it was said, if you go to a journalist told me this, that if a white woman is missing, she's got the blonde hair, blue eyes, that kind of thing, the media attention is out of this world. All over social media, TV, radio, internet. But if a Black woman goes missing, it's deaf ears. Very little attention. And the only attention comes from the advocates who push it. They've been pushing a long time. Hey, I'm the brainchild of this, known about it for years. I just want to let's give those advocates that have been on this forefront a long time, let's give them a big round of applause. Please, please, please. So, as I said, there are many issues in Beacon Hill, maternal health, sickle cell, prostate, you name it. It affects black people disproportionately. This issue, really, the report has they're undervalued, underappreciated. When they say treat this person, how do you prove this to the person? Their background, where they come from, how they look. It's not okay. We're going to try to deal with it. So at this time, call an amazing Senator Liz Miranda, who is chair of the Senate side of Racial Equity, Inclusion, and Civil Rights, an amazing woman that does so much good work in the Commonwealth. And I call her, I was going to say Colonel, my partner in crime. That doesn't sound too good. State police officer. I'm not going to say partner in crime. But Liz, you come up and bring me this. Come on, let's give Cindy the ring.
How about partner and server? That sound good? You know, I was walking down the hallway and I have some prepared remarks, but I just want to say how amazed I felt when I turned the corner and saw this room full of young people, particularly young black girls like yourself in the front row, brown girls, and then seeing the state police, seeing people in media, seeing people that are advocates who've started organizations, see people in government. There's not many times in this building that you get to see the diversity of the people who are in this room. So I just want you guys to give yourselves a round of applause for coming out on a Wednesday morning. I see two of my colleagues. There's others in the room, but I see Senator Crichton in the back from the great city of Lynn. I see Representative Miranda, who I get to work and represent parts of the Southland and Roxbury with. But this is a very important issue. And today I'm standing in front of you not only as a big supporter of this bill, but obviously, as you can see, I'm a black girl from Roxbury. I've been a senator for a year, but I've been a black woman from a community for 43 years. And I understand this issue. And I want to call into this space, if we could take a moment, two friends, Jassy Correa and Sherelle Pringle. Now, I've had the misfortune and their families of these two young women, both went missing, both wasn't found in enough time, and both perished. They both had children. And both of them were my friends, they were my community members, and today this is really for them. Their family has to live with the loss of these two beautiful women. If you don't know about these two cases, you can just Google them. But Sherelle was the light of her son's life, and Jassy left a 3-year-old daughter when her case happened. So I'm honored to be with you all today, and one of the things that I want to highlight is that it has been a historical desensitization of women and girls of color and women and girls, period. And that is coupled with the social economic barriers that have created conditions that make it hard just to survive. I know that is a significant statement, but it's true, and the data actually supports this notion. You heard the great chairman talk about 64,000 and 214,000 people of color, but having a third of a population that is missing that is black. We have to start the conversation with the honest truth, because anywhere else would not be justice for the thousands of missing black girls and women across our country. Thousands of people are reported missing every year in this country. While not every case will get the widespread media attention, the disparities exist between white and non-white individuals, and they're glaring. Particularly our missing black and brown girls. I want to thank you, Representative Williams and Chairman Williams, and Representative Tyler for filing this critical life-saving legislation. You don't get always to file bills that you know will change people's lives, but I know this bill actually will. We need targeted and intentional legislation to actually protect us and other young women of color who make up nearly 40%. Black girls do not make up 40% of the city's population, they don't make up 40% of the state's population, and they do not make 40% of this country's population. So to make up over a third of those that are missing is just unconscionable. And we know that Black girls are most classified as runaways. Every week in my district, I get a DM from a parent or an aunt or a friend about a missing young woman. And it's been really hard without the power of social media to be able to share their plight in a timely manner so that they can be found within the first 48 hours if they're being missing. Because oftentimes folks say, well, they're a runaway, they have a history. They have a history of running away, so we'll wait till someone else calls and tells us about it. I want to thank Boston Police, because every time that I've called Boston Police, they get to it right away. And even the state police, when I called them about Sherelle Pringle, they got me as quickly as they could. This is not an issue that is far away. It's actually in our backyard. And we remember the stories of the two women that I shared, but there's dozens more. And I don't know if there's anyone in the room that's had a missing family member. Can you just raise your hand? So we want to bring them into the space, the families that are in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that are still wondering, they still can't go to sleep at night wondering where their loved ones are. We know that Black girls are adultified, criminalized, sexualized, and dehumanized in ways that other girls are not. We're often seen as more resilient, and that is often very damaging. It's devastating when these cultural and systemic racist beliefs impact our ability to receive the imminent safety and the relief we deserve in our times of crisis or when we are missing. We need a culture shift, and it starts today, in the way that we respond, and we need revitalized public safety measures that ensure that assumptions are challenged in our response. We all could be teachable, and we all could be better in responding to families of Black and brown girls. I want to thank you all for being here today, and I'm really honored to support this bill, and I hope we get it across the finish line, and so that we could work together to bring our girls home.
I don't want to get in trouble with your brother, so I'm going to give you an English statement. Let's give that a lot. She's very busy, but she always goes and supports all our issues. Thank you, Nick. Give the governor. Also, we're joined by Rep. Howard, who's here, and Rep. Owens. Thank you. Before I move on, I just have Senator Liz Miranda. I want to give her a shout out for the amazing work she's done on maternal health, Black health, in this Commonwealth, putting bills across the finish line and getting funding. So let's give her a big shout out. We know that there's so many critical issues, so we try to do the best that we can do. At this time, I have the pleasure of introducing, because we know that, as the Senator alluded to, Boston Police, State Police, we all got to be part of this. So we have the Colonel, who I just had the pleasure of, we had Mount Springfield, a community meeting on Monday, I believe. Very well attended. He did very good work. Colonel Miles, you come in your own way and bring greetings. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jack Vaughn. My last name is spelled M-A-W-N. I am the interim colonel of the Massachusetts State Police. Representative Chair Williams, I'd like to also acknowledge Representative Tyler, Senator Miranda, of course. Everyone, thank you so much for inviting us here today to speak about how law enforcement responds to and investigates reports of missing persons. And specifically, how the Massachusetts State Police, when called upon, can assist our public safety partners in this regard. In a moment, I will briefly describe to you the unit's procedures and capabilities that we deploy to assist in the search for missing persons. But first, let me make clear right off the bat that those assets and capabilities are meaningless if law enforcement agencies do not, at the most foundational level, grasp and embrace the human element present in these cases. The response to a call for a missing person must always carry the understanding of the fear, anxiety, uncertainty, and dread that loved ones of missing persons are feeling. We must understand that somewhere in a home, in a family, in a community, there is an empty place where that missing person should be at this very moment and isn't. And the fact that they are not there at this moment brings fear and worry that gnaws and grinds at those who love that person every moment of every uncertain day. It is that understanding that must inform our actions in these cases, that must guide us in our efforts, because the loss of a human being can never be restored, and those who love that person can never really be made whole. Therefore, we must be dedicated, focused, and relentless in our effort so that we can assist in locating missing persons, ideally to return them home to their families, or in the most tragic of cases, to at least provide their families with some knowledge of what happened to their missing loved one. I am keenly aware of the disproportionate impact of these cases on Black, brown, and underserved communities. The first step for the public to report a missing person is to contact their local, city, or town police department. Those departments may in turn contact the Massachusetts State Police, and when they do, we will provide assistance in any way possible. The Massachusetts State Police has numerous ways to help our local partners search for missing persons. Our Fusion Center maintains a watch center 24/7, 365, where officers and civilian analysts can perform a host of investigative actions such as record and database checks, exigent cell phone pings, and social media analysis, all designed to help locate missing persons quickly. The Watch Center can also mobilize other Massachusetts State Police units to assist local police in the investigation and search, including patrols, detective units, K-9 teams, our air wing, our drone unit, our marine unit, and our dive team. And our special emergency response team, who can operationalize their comprehensive ground search and rescue capabilities. Members of this unit are rigorously trained in conducting large-scale urban, suburban, and rural searches. I also wish to mention two other specialized units within the Mass State Police that bring unique skill sets to the mission of finding missing persons or information about what happened to them. We recently expanded our unresolved cases unit, which is led by Detective Lieutenant Anne Marie Robertson, who is a panel member here today. This unit re-examines old cases, most often unresolved homicides, unidentified human remains, and missing persons, to determine if new leads, technological and forensic advancements, and a fresh set of eyes can uncover new evidence that can lead to a resolution. The Unresolved Cases Unit has additionally undertaken actions to better quantify the true number of missing persons in Massachusetts. Currently, approximately 1,750 missing persons from Massachusetts are listed in the FBI's National Crime Information Center database, known as NCIC. But that database has limitations. We are optimistic that another database, the online National Missing and Unidentified Persons Systems Database, or NAMUS, can mitigate limitations and be a more comprehensive solution. When every police department in Massachusetts diligently enters each missing person or identified victim into the NAMUS database, we will have a much more accurate tally of the missing in Massachusetts and be better equipped in order to be more successful in the resolution of missing person cases. Today, just under 200 missing person cases from Massachusetts have been entered into the NAMUS database. That is an improvement over recent years, but we know there are many, many more missing persons who need to be added to NamUs in order to better understand the scope of the issue. In order to assist local police departments to understand the importance of entering their missing or unidentified cases into NamUs accurately and routinely, our Unresolved Cases Unit, in coordination with the State Executive Office of Public Safety and Security and the Municipal Police Training Committee, has thus far conducted 5 online training sessions for our local partners. This curriculum also covered best practices in investigative tactics, the recovery and use of digital and forensic evidence, including advances in genealogy testing, and cell phone, social media, and video analysis. We're currently planning to conduct more such trainings in the future. Additionally, we recently established Critical Incident Technical Investigations, or City Team, CITI, to assist investigators with immediate technological expertise for such actions as tracking phones, vehicles, and electronic communications for the purpose of locating missing people. These capabilities can be vitally important to finding a missing person whose life or safety may be in the balance and whose situation grows more precarious with each passing hour. The city team recently helped locate and ensure the safe return of a Chicopee boy who was taken when his parents' car was stolen while he was in the back seat. Our Watch Center and Media Relations Unit can also help publicize missing persons so that other law enforcement officers and members of the public are aware of and can be on the lookout for them. In conclusion, there are numerous actions the Mass-State Police can take to assist local police in searching for missing persons. We are committed to this important mission, and we will consider any suggestion or recommendations that the legislature believes may be helpful in that endeavor, especially in communities who need our services the most. Most importantly, our understanding of the human toll these cases have on the missing and those who love them will drive our commitment to locate them. Thank you very much for having us today.
Thank you, Colonel. Also, I want to recognize and apologize for Reverend Part-1, Reverend of Community Engagement with the Governor's Office. Come on, get it going. Hey, Steve Harvey was saying, this is a tough crowd to work with. Yeah, made me earn my money today. Also, Brett Burns here, thank you. Garberly is here. Garberly everything all the time. Thank you. Thank you. We will continue to move on. And next time, Rep. Chynah Tyler, my classmate, we came in together. She's done amazing work on Beacon Hill, the Crown Act, which is now, black girls are going, do your hair the way you want to do your hair in school. They can't kick you out of school. We passed that last year. Also, free prison costs for folks who have young people and loved ones in prison, not to pay for the system. We're not trying to give them a handout, but a handout, because they were making far too much money on prison costs on the backs of poor people who are incarcerated. Without further ado, I have that great Boston representative. She doesn't have a no baby today, which I was hoping. Representative, come on.
Good now, almost close to afternoon, but still morning, everyone, late morning. I'm very honored to be here. Again, I'm Representative Chynah Tyler, and I have the great honor of serving the 7th Suffolk District, which falls in part to Boston, here at the State House as a state representative. I am honored to be a part of this collaboration, leading with Representative Williams, and I know you saw a bunch of other reps here, but I'm really honored to be able to do this work. And I want to first start off with thanking all of you for showing up, and thanking Mike's for the Missing and every partner that's a part of this event. Things don't happen unless we come together and collaborate, so this is a true collaborative effort, and I'm really grateful to be a part of this first and foremost. I'll keep my remarks very short, and I want to just say that I have experienced what it's like to come across public safety, to come across police departments when I have an important issue to be able to be addressed. Fortunately enough, we're here talking about young women who happen to go missing. And when that type of issue comes across the plate, there's no parent or no loved one or a grandmother, mother, or father that should feel disengaged from the process and not know what the process is like when it comes to finding their loved one, because that's a goal again, to be able to find their loved one. So we're here to be able to make sure that we shed light on the issue, and more importantly, to ensure that protecting and serving, which is what our authorities are supposed to be doing when they're out there walking the beat and serving the law, applies to everyone, particularly black girls and women that are missing. I have the pleasure of having two amazing young daughters, and again, it is my duty to make sure that we shed light on making sure that our girls, particularly black and brown girls, feel protected and served as equitably as anybody else. And so thank you all for showing up. I look forward to the amazing keynote. Hey y'all, hi Crystal, good to see you all. Some of you PMT alumni here. I had an honor of engaging with and working with these women. They're all amazing. And I just want to say thank you all for showing up. I look forward to sticking around. I brought my daughter here. She's actually having a sick day, so there's people going on. But she really, really wanted to come here because, again, she wanted to engage and be aware of how she can do her part and become a, hopefully, activist like you all for Mike Missing. So thank you again, and I appreciate you all showing up. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Just hear from some young people who, at first filed this legislation, they were really into it. It's always nice to get folks across the Commonwealth to come and push your issue. That's how civil rights got passed. Black and white working together, brown, everybody working together to push the envelope. So we're going to have Good Green Middle School come forward. We've got one representative to speak. Come on down, big brother. Come on. I'll be back.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sophia. And my name is Lauren. We are eighth graders at Pickering Middle School. Thank you for having us here and allowing us to speak on safety and well-being of young people like us. Thank you to Representative Bud L.Williams for making the bill available to missing black and women. We believe in building a system that will create a safe community protecting one of our state's most vulnerable populations.
At this point, safety in school is the utmost concern for students, teachers, and parents. This is because of the alarming cases of school shootings across our country. We know danger is not always a person with a gun, but the friendly alluring strangers and pedophiles with the intent of kidnapping children and harming them both emotionally and physically. Harming youth harms the future of communities, and it has grievous effects on those who love us like our parents, family, and friends.
We believe that public safety should be one of our government's top priorities. We ask you, our legislators, to be the change makers and advocates for those who cannot speak out. While everyone deserves to feel and secure, the younger generations are the members of our community who need the most protection. Whether it's walking home from school, making our way to the bus stop, playing in parks, or scrolling on our phones, it is crucial that we feel safe. We are vulnerable out in the world, and we would hope that if anything were to happen in our community, we do everything it could to help us. The ammonia alert is important because it gives all children equal attention despite their race or income.
Also, in the Hampden office dedicated to missing children, the government can advise on patterns that can help find missing people. And we want our communities to have the correct resources to best help us based on our demographics. As the youth of Massachusetts, we ourselves represent the demographic this bill would help us protect. A favorable advancement of this bill will be a vote for the increased public safety of our Commonwealth as a whole. We all know and love Black women and girls. A few are even standing before you today. Protections for them, protection for all of us. No one is safe until we are all safe. Please pass this legislation and secure our safety for all.
We stand before you as the future of our state, reminding you that one day we will be the teachers, the leaders, and the change makers, but in order for that day to come, our rights must be protected. Thank you for all commitment. Thank you for all your commitment to ensuring Massachusetts is the best and safest place for everyone, regardless of race, gender, income, and age.
Beautiful, fantastic. Takes a lot of courage to get up there and stand before 200 or 300 people, but let's give them a break. We're right on schedule. We have a little poetry before we get into this amazing panel. It'll take us to some informational setting that we really, really need. From the civil rights movement to the protest for peace, and the Black Lives Matter. Poetry is a powerful art form used to inspire, energize, unite, and engage.